Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another edition of Wade Books Presents Fun with Classroom. Super excited today about what we're going to be talking about. Brand new update, along a series of updates for Google Classroom, which is the ability to assign assignments to individual students. This is something we've been looking forward to, at least from my perspective here, for a few years since Classroom first came out. Before we had been building multiple classrooms, and putting students in, but now we're able to actually take a single assignment in our classroom and assign that to individual students or to groups of students. It's pretty simple to use, but I'm going to actually walk you through and show you today. I have two students added to a Google Classroom, and I have logged into their classroom as well. So you're going to get to see, kind of how that's set up, what it looks like on their end, which I think is really important, which is what I would want to see if I was a teacher is, when I do this as an educator, what does that look like for my students? So anyway, to start with here, just don't forget that if you ever want to give some feedback, if you have a question, concern, comment, feel free to go to this link right here. This will take you to a Google form that just looks for your thoughts. And so, we'll reference this at the end of the video again. And love to hear from you. Love to hear what you're thinking. Just anything about Classroom you want to share would be great. We did have a response from last week. Mrs. Haber, 5th grade at McKinney Harrison, wanted to share out some of her thoughts on inviting multiple teachers to a classroom. One thing that I personally hadn't thought of, we talk a lot about sharing back and forth between co-teachers, which they had done for their e-learning in 5th grade there at McKinney, which I think most of us have done, especially at the elementary level. Something she had mentioned was sharing her classroom with resource teachers and with interventionists. So no longer is she having to explain assignments or give those assignments to those teachers. Everyone in the district has an account. So it's nice for them to, for an interventionist, to be able to log into someone's Google Classroom if they're working in Mrs. Haber's room and see what the kid's working on and go right to there. And so, the teacher and the interventionist, they're still communicating, but it just looks a little bit different this time. It's a little quicker, a little more efficient. So thank you, Kelly, for sharing that out. One thing to keep in mind that I did get feedback on from other people, if you invite teachers and you have it set up to where you get notifications, you receive notifications when your students make comments, which is something that's found in settings. We can turn on our email notifications where, kids can give us feedback. Let's say a kid makes a comment or something on an assignment, it will email us. That's awesome. But if I'm also attached to someone else's class, Mrs. Haber mentioned this about Mrs. Gehrig's, not only, you're going to get, if I'm added to a different classroom and a kid submits something or makes a comment there, I'm getting that as well. So, there is that drawback that if we're in multiple classrooms, that's just something to keep in mind, that if this notification is turned on in settings, you're going to get not only things for the class that you're in, like your own Google Classroom, but if you've been added to someone else's and your notifications are turned on, you're going to get feedback. You're going to get notifications from that other classroom as well, which we don't always want. Talk about cluttered inboxes. So something to keep in mind. I'm hoping, as the future, as we go further and Google starts to see the way we're using the invite teachers in the About tab, I'm thinking we'll be able to choose what classes we get notifications from, but that's not a setting we have right now. So just something to keep in mind, but both those things are mentioned. So thank you, Mrs. Haber, for mentioning that here on our Google Doc, on our Google form. Okay, so today what we're going to do is I'm going to actually share. I'm going to put 3 assignments into my stream here. The first assignment is just going to be for all students. So when we go to the plus sign and click assignment, okay, the first drop down here is the different classes I can assign to. The new drop down is for all students. So I have 2 students here, Jack Beekes and Trevor Bell, 2 of my cross-country students who got voluntold. They're going to be part of this. And right now I'm going to give, this is for all students. I've titled it. I'm just going to attach a random Google Doc that I made earlier. And this, there we go. I'll just let it so they can view it, because if I make a copy, it'll take a lot longer to generate. This is for all students. So I'm going to click assign. And all students in my classroom, which in this case is just Jack and Trevor, will be able to see this assignment. Okay, it's a view-only document. So when I open up, so right here, I have two classes. I have, this is my classroom. Here's Trevor. He's logged in on this tab. Jack's logged in here. I'm going to hit show on both these so they're up. The streams are updated. And in Trevor's classroom, you can see here that assignment's been posted. I'm in Jack's, the assignment's been posted. Okay, that's normal. That's what things normally look like. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's just create an assignment just for one student. This is just going to be for Trevor. And I think I had some documents I titled 1 and 2. I'm going to add the number 1 document to Trevor's here and make a copy for him. So when it comes time now to select our students, we hit the drop down. A couple different ways. I mean, I just want to leave Trevor checked, so I'm going to uncheck Jack, which unchecks all students. So just Trevor is checkmarked now. I'm going to go ahead and hit assign. And now I can see in my stream, here's the assignment, the first one for everybody. Here's the next one. Okay. And when I click on the one, it'll tell me who it's been assigned to. Here it's been assigned to everybody. There's nothing here. This one's for Trevor. So let's go ahead and pop back into my student school classrooms. Here's Jack's. I'm under Jack Beekes' classroom. Now he's not going to see that assignment I gave to Trevor. It didn't go to him. It's not assigned to him. It's not something he needs to worry about. When I go to Trevor's and hit show and update my stream, I can see Trevor now has 2. Jack has 1 assignment. Trevor has 2. And so that's built just for him. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go back. I'm going to create one more assignment. This one's going to be for Jack. Go ahead and make sure just Jack is selected here. And I'll give him document number 2. And so as we could imagine, okay, when this one gets assigned out, make a copy for him. You know, when this one gets assigned out, Trevor will not be able to see this. I'm in Trevor's classroom. He can't see Jack's assignment. When I go to Jack's and I update my stream, he's going to see 2 now. So Jack has 2 assignments. Trevor has 2 assignments. And I have 3 in my classroom. See, I'm back in W Books here in my classroom. So I can see that I assigned 1 to everybody. I assigned 1 to Jack, 1 to Trevor. Okay. I really like this because of the fact, one, we can create groups. We have, we do a lot with differentiating between students about assignments, maybe articles that we give them. Now is a really great way. And I really like it too, because the students, if I say, here's, group 1, group 2, group 3, they're not seeing all the assignments. They're getting just what they need, which I think is probably the most important thing here for us to realize, is that the students just getting the one assignment they need. It's not everything attached. I see this as a very powerful tool. I'm surprised it took Google this long, and because I feel like the demand was there and the questions were there, but they took their time, did it right, and it's something that I think can be really beneficial for us in the future. One thing I want to point out here before we go, notice here you notice that when I attach documents, I put in each assignment I always had a document attached. I'm under Trevor's account right now. Trevor can see this document on his stream, but he can't see the one I gave here. The difference is this one is a view-only document. The one I assigned to both of them is a view-only. It's a resource. It's posted right in the stream. This one was a copy that was made for him. So when you make a copy for the kid must click on the title of the assignment, and then he can see what was given to them. Okay? Resources that are view-only are listed on the stream. Assignments, documents, things, the materials that are given for them to actually do that copy's been made, that's inside the assignment. So just keep that in mind. That's a question that pops up a lot. So hopefully this wasn't overly confusing. I spent a lot more time than what I would have wanted to on it, but hopping back and forth, I think seeing it from the student perspective is something that's really important that I wanted you to see. So hey, just like always, feel free, click the link, give us some feedback. Love to hear it. Love to, any way we can improve these recordings. And hey, this has been Wade Books with Fun with Classroom.